Thank you for joining us for this exclusive KPRC2 Plus investigation. Houston's Director of City Council Relations recently pleaded guilty to a federal conspiracy charge. The actions of William Paul Thomas were described as out of character by Mayor Sylvester Turner.
But KPRC2 Investigates Mario Diaz uncovered a pattern going back several years of Thomas working outside of his council duties at City Hall and in the favor of the business owners' investments at the airport.
Conspiracy to take cash bribes inside Mayor Sylvester Turner's inner circle.
I'm surprised about the revelation here because it is out of character.
William Paul Thomas, the now former Director of City Council Relations, pleading guilty to a federal charge.
We know nothing.
Thomas, who resigned from his post the week before the case became public, was a central figure at City Hall. For years, at Mayor Turner's side for various events, from the rodeo to South Africa. And every week, he stood prominently behind the mayor at City Council.
His specific job was to be the mayor's liaison in assisting and working with each one of the council members.
But in February 2020, KPRC2 Investigates uncovered Thomas doing otherwise. Emails we obtained from the city show Thomas in the middle of a massive six-figure offer in exchange for Mayor Turner's help.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Did you ever receive an email for over $500,000 from Jason Yu for a donation for the city or to the mayor contingent upon?
I don't talk to media.
The email sent to William Paul Thomas and another director within the mayor's inner circle, Andy Icken. The email laying out a $500,000 offer, contingent on getting the mayor's help to close a private land deal for this man, local businessman Jason Yu. The deal valued at nearly $350 million.
$500,000. They put this in an email.
The email, when I saw it yesterday, based on what you presented, the email was inappropriate.
Should have called the FBI.
But they didn't. Emails obtained by KPRC2 Investigates show other instances of Thomas working outside of his role here at City Hall in support of Yu's business investments, this time out at Bush Intercontinental Airport. One email from November 30th, 2017 shows Thomas working against the city, emailing Yu's business partner and the Houston Airport's system director, asking on Yu's behalf for penalties to be waived after failing to meet contractual obligations. Airport records from that year show Yu and his partner owed the city of Houston's airport system $861,000.
In this email, he is certainly not getting funds for the city. It is a specific request to liquidate the penalties.
Angela Welton has history with public corruption cases. She is a former chief prosecutor for public integrity with the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
All of it raises questions.
The mayor's office says reassessed liquidated damages were offered to Yu's partner following the emails, claiming the Houston Airport's system has done this in the past. The mayor's office also telling us William Paul Thomas, Director of Council Relations, did not negotiate on behalf of the subcontractor and had no influence in this matter.
Check out this email because that is in direct conflict.
You say that shows influence.
Yes, I believe it does.
Emails also show Thomas attending meetings with Director Diaz and Yu over a potential airport venture. Thomas referring to Yu as partner in some of those emails. Remember, Thomas's job was to be a liaison for city council members, not for private business owners who want access to City Hall.
I think that it should be investigated. This absolutely is telling with regard to improper influence.
We left multiple messages by phone and email for Thomas and Yu for this report. They did not get back to us. We will, of course, follow up if we do hear from them, and you will see it right here on our digital streaming service, KPRC2 Plus.
Well, Mario, you explained that the city essentially forgave some of what you and his partners owed after not meeting their obligation and their contract at the airport. Is this like a standard practice? Like, who approves this?
The answer there, Danielle, is kind of mixed, okay? Because when we first started investigating, the city told us they had liquidated damages roughly a couple of dozen times. As for who approves this, the Houston Airport Systems Commercial Development Officer says a city attorney would have to sign off on a settlement. We're not certain that ever happened, as Airport Director Mario Diaz had plans to cancel all liquidated damages. The mayor's office told us in 2020 that they were still in the process of collecting the fines, but we do know that the airport's director, Mario Diaz, says that they settled somewhere around $100,000, which is a fraction of the $861,000 that the airport's commercial development officer says was invoiced to you and his partners.
Okay, so the city's involved in quite a few expensive projects, and we see them in council meetings approving contracts. So were they involved?
Great question here, Andy. All right. The answer here is no. The city council only has to approve contracts worth more than $50,000. Also, the council is not involved if those projects rack up fines or penalties well in excess of $50,000, like what we have seen in our investigation. Council also is never made aware if the fines or penalties are lowered. One City Hall official tells me the city's attorney should have signed off on the final settlement in the case Thomas was involved in, since the fines were tied to a contractual agreement involving the city's airport system.
And you've been investigating this story for years now, as we were talking about. And can you share a little bit more about this reporting process and everything you've had to go through to get to this point where you are now in the investigation?
I will tell you, it's not easy. This initially started with another investigation that we were working on several years ago. And the way it works is that we made a request through what is called the Texas Public Information Act. Anyone can make a request for records. It's exactly what we did. And we requested emails, and initially the first request was for thousands of emails that they produced back to us. And looking at those emails, and guys, I have to tell you, when you're looking at these emails, what happens is they're not laid out to where this entire story is perfect for you.
You have to piece it together. Like
it's like finding several needles in a haystack. Just imagine you're like, well, what does this email mean? So you put it in a pile over here. Then what does this email mean? And you put it in a pile over here. Having covered City Hall as well as the area of politics now for quite some time, and seeing some of these individuals, it kind of starts piecing this puzzle together. Now imagine, I don't exactly know what this puzzle looks like. You just have an idea and you're piecing all of these emails. So eventually we ended up putting it all together and then identifying exactly what happened here. And then ultimately you saw what took place just last month.
Is there more to come?
There is more to come on this.
There's more work to do.
We have more emails.
All right. Well, Mario, we know that you're going to continue to follow up on this story. Thank you so much for watching this exclusive special report on our digital streaming network, KPRC2 Plus.
And you can watch for free anytime on your favorite streaming device on click2houston.com or on the KPRC2 News app.